I need to make $17,700 in the next 3 months. Let me explain. Oh my god. I don't know. This is all just a grand experiment, so. It's so hot. Okay. I gotta go. Bye. That's me. Just coffee. Hanging out in my bed. Great idea. My portion of the rent that I need to pay for the next 12 months, I'm gonna try and make in the next 3 months. I am moving in July, and now I'm home because I just finished like an epic adventure, basically driving like 35,000 miles over the country, first in a rooftop tent, then in a little camper. And I'm home now because I can't move into my apartment until July. So I have also been experimenting with UGC, and I really want to pay for my entire year's worth of rent with UGC, and with UGC deals I can make in the next 3 months. Consider this like a first edition of this diary series of me trying to pay for my entire year's worth of rent before I even move in. So, the other difficult part, but also the really good part, is that UGC is not the only way that I make money, especially considering that I'm not making any money from UGC right now. I am a content strategist for travel influencers and travel brands, so I write blogs for them, newsletters, content strategy for creators, so that pays me money. That pays me money on a monthly basis, so I'm also balancing doing client work as well as trying to get this UGC business off the ground, and I'm not going to count the income that I make otherwise towards this goal, which is going to be hard because we can probably get there a lot faster. This is UGC. You know, I might count, I haven't decided, I might count the clients I get cold pitching through like my normal services like blog writing, newsletter writing, script writing. But I'm going to keep this primarily UGC, and then I will let you know some tallies in the outside of like, okay, this is what I made from this other like new project that I'm starting, but this is about UGC. Let's make some coffee and then I'll tell you about what I've been doing so far with that. So I first started learning UGC from Maddie in February, and it was really hard to keep up with doing it on the road. One, because I know it can take like some time to even work out deals with brands, but I also want to work with stays like Vrbo, inns, hotels, things like that. And I didn't know like where I was gonna be, kind of. So it was hard for me to like want to reach out to brands to say, or to stays to say, I will be in whatever place at this time, can we work out like me staying there in exchange, or like whatever. It was also hard because I know there's plenty of people who receive mail when they're on the road, but it's also like a space issue, you know, like I just didn't have a ton of space. I didn't want to learn how to receive mail on the road because I was going to be home so soon. So now is when I've like started that process of working with products. So last week I sent like 80 pitches and I heard back from like 3 people. Is there someone coming to my house right now? No, it's a neighbor. and I heard back from 3 people. So one of them was really exciting, and like I've worked so hard on like my portfolio. I've worked so hard on making like a really good pitch, and I also did something called a mail merge. So if you're pitching and you're not doing a mail merge, friends, I need you to stop watching this right now and go watch a YouTube video on setting up a mail merge. So it's gonna save your life. So that's how I was able to send 80 pitches in like a day. Obviously it took a lot of time to get the contacts, and now I have like a VA who I had worked with previously, but I didn't work with so much when I was on the road just because I didn't have a lot of time to work on things for my own business. So now she is on the hunt gathering all the email addresses for me, because that's the part that honestly takes the longest. So the companies I heard back from, one was really exciting because they didn't even email me back to say like, oh, thanks so much for your, you know, email, whatever. They just immediately scheduled a call with me. And so I have that call tomorrow morning, which is exciting. It's for an activewear company, which sounds great. And then another company scheduled a meeting with me on Friday, and I had that, and that was for, they do like standing desks, I would say is probably their staple, but they don't just do that. They have a lot of other home office-esque accessories and things, and they are going to give me a $1,500 credit to shop whatever I want at their store, and they're like, we see this as a long-term partnership, so in the future we can work on other things, or if anytime you want anything, just let us know. So I was like, that was pretty epic, to be honest. And I'm not like, obviously the goal is to get actual money from doing these things, but I know in the beginning it is definitely a possibility and going to happen that I'm gonna have to take some like gifted product seeding crap, but I do really need a standing desk, so I am jazzed about it. So I'm also pitching products that I quite literally really want for my apartment, and I've started to make a list of all these other products like rugs, lamps, like, yeah. So I'm gonna reach out to a walking pad company. Yeah, just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And then another company forwarded me to their marketing team, because I could only find their info or like, you know, support email address on their website. She was like, this sounds great, I'm gonna send you to our marketing team. I followed up with the marketing team, or I emailed them to say like, hey, the support person told me to connect with you, and I didn't hear back. So I didn't, that was maybe on like Wednesday, and by Friday I still hadn't heard anything from them. So on Monday I will email them, and I usually give people like a week to follow up, but I'm gonna email them. So the thing with me moving in July is not just trying to like get all this work sort of life things together. It's also me having to do a little life audit, a little life edit, and that includes things in my closet. So that is what I am trying to use, today is Sunday, the weekend for, because when it's the week, I am like, I have a really hard time not doing things that don't relate to work, and that's not great things. But I just don't want to spend the times of day during the week when my brain is at its like max capacity cleaning out my closet. So I'm gonna try and do some of that today. I know it's literally gonna take hours, and I don't want to spend hours on it because I need to do UGC things. So I'm gonna give myself, it's 8 a.m. right now. I'll give myself like 2 hours, because honestly, I know if I'm not in the mood to be brutal, then that's just wasted time, so I'm not going to give myself a lot of time, and we'll see how quickly I can get through shit. But that's what I'm going to do. But first, I'm going to enjoy myself and read, because I don't do enough of that, and I'm really trying to like figure out my correct routine in the mornings. It's not been good, because lately I've been like just waking up later than I want to, and by later than I want to, it's like 6:30. And then I just like get right into work, and that's not great. So I started reading The Last Bookstore on Earth. It's really fast, but I don't know. I'm either gonna really like it or really hate it. I've already read 70 pages and I can't tell you yet, so I'm gonna read a bit more. I'm really enjoying this book, actually. I just really want to know. I'm like 40% through. I just want to know what's gonna happen. So I'm motivated to like get some real life stuff done today so that I can just try and finish this book. But I wanted to share with you some math on exactly the numbers that I need to make before August 1st. I know I said I'm moving in July, but it's a little bittersweet, but I already paid the first month of rent, which was required to even sign the lease. So we've already paid that, and then it means that I won't have to log into the portal. So we won't have to log in and pay rent until August 1st. So I have May, June, July to make $17,700. And that's my portion of the rent that I need to pay for the next 12 months. I'm gonna try and make in the next 3 months. So, like I said, moving involves not just monetary consequences, but also involves getting rid of so much junk. So it's 9 now, and I read for like 50 minutes. It went by so fast, and because I was sitting in the sun, I literally like can't read the clock over there because it was like so bright. But I'm gonna actually just set a timer because I do well with the challenge, hence this challenge, for an hour. And then I actually am going to just do my closet for an hour, and if I still feel good, gonna do my office for an hour, because I have an office, there's another bedroom upstairs that my parents have let me make into an office, and it was the office that I used to finish college when we couldn't be at school. So it has been the office that I've used, to do actual work in, other people work in it, whatever. So that bedroom up there, that closet is full of just like stuff I need to get rid of. Like a lot of tech things, like a lot of like a million micro USB cords. If you need a micro USB cord, let me know. Let me know. But things like that just need to really, really go. So I'm always so ambitious with my to-do list on the weekends. Like I think that I'm gonna like get every single thing done that could ever possibly be done. When in reality, I don't feel like doing a lot of that stuff. So what I am going to do is gather contacts from UGC brands, and I'm gonna do this with, I think I'm gonna put a Netflix show on. I've been watching Love on the Spectrum season 3, and it feels a little bit better when I can like do something productive while also trying to do something I enjoy. So I think I'm gonna try that. But I have a couple of companies I want to try and research. So one is like Tech Bag Organization. I think I did some of that already. Running watches, sustainable companies, rugs, candles, I don't know, walking pads, alarm clock. I really want a hatch, so we'll see if there's something similar. Coffee tables, ottomans, floor lamps. So we'll see what I can find there. I'm going to set like a timer here and do what I can to find these companies while I research them. So yeah, last week I sent 88 pitches. That's what I sent on the mail merge, and then I think I maybe followed up with the 2 others I had sent like previously when it comes to stays. So I probably sent 95 pitches. I will put a tracker here on screen of how many pitches I've sent, as well as like how many I get responses from versus then how many like actually convert, so that we can get some metrics going. But I'm going to set myself up on a more comfortable chair and watch Netflix while I do some contact pulling, really. I'm feeling good about Sunday. It's 10:15 a.m. so I'm gonna put on another timer and get going here. Okay, one little hack I have for UGC creators that, I don't know if it's a hack, but it's what I've been doing. So if there's a product I'm interested in wanting to work with or have, or even, yeah. So for example, I'm looking up floor lamps. So I do research on articles. I look for articles on like the best floor lamps or like the best standing desks, things like that. And then that helps me find companies that are selling floor lamps, because if you just search like floor lamps on Google, it's gonna bring up a lot of Targets, Amazons, Walmarts, and while of course there are some real businesses that sell their products through those places, a lot of the times they're not. They're just like these massive manufacturers that send their products to be sold at Target and not like a company you could work with. At least that's my understanding so far. So we'll see if I'm wrong about that when I do more research. But like right now I'm looking up the best floor lamps. I'm reading this article to see how that's gonna work for me. See if that will be helpful. I'm also using my Jackery to charge because none of the outlets in this house like reach a comfortable chair, and I actually put Jackery in my UGC portfolio, which is fun. That's how I found the standing desk company I'm working with. So here we go. I'm literally so cranky today. I'm so cranky today. So I'm going outside. Thought I was hangry, just cranky. I ate. I had caffeine. So I'm going to sit outside and cure my angst. I don't even know. I'm going away now. So today is Monday. This plant, I knocked this plant next to me. But let's talk about what went on today. So today, let me actually just bring you over here. It's gonna be just so much easier. Is someone calling me? Oh, let me see. Okay. So today, I gathered about, how many emails? 32 emails in 20 minutes, which I think is pretty great. Obviously, some are for the same company, just multiple people at the same place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe like 10 different brands that I actually have like emails for, names for, as well as like what I'm going to say in the actual mail merge pitch. Today I was supposed to have a meeting with an activewear company and she didn't show up, so I followed up with her like while I was on the meeting to be like, hey, are you still coming? Didn't hear back from her, and then I emailed her later to say like, when are you available this week so I can try and reschedule. So that was weird. And I got a contract from a standing desk company that I was working with previously. So I got a contract from a brand I was in talks with last week, which is great. And my VA told me she would get more emails pulled tonight, which is good. I spent 20 minutes today pulling these. I also really need to like figure out a system of me, the days that I'm like gathering the brands, and then she gathers the emails, and then I send the pitches. I know I want to send pitches on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays because Fridays and Mondays are not good. So I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to gather all of the emails and the brand / products. So I'm still figuring that out, and then also figuring out, because I have to do my own like services pitching in there as well. So it's all kind of a just work in progress. You really get to see the work in progress here. But tomorrow's Tuesday somehow already, but I need to finish writing like for actual clients. Right now I'm writing a travel guide on Malta. It looks beautiful. Don't know why I'm sitting here and not in Malta, but all right, I'm gonna write. So, and then it's 8:15 right now. p.m. I'm going to write, and then maybe write another travel guide after that, depending on, I'm gonna really try and power through this one so I can get it done. And then maybe do more UGC things. Ugh, it's so hard. But let me tell you stats from last week, okay? So last week was April 21st to the 25th, and I sent 88 pitches. I booked 2 meetings, and I had received 4 responses. Today is the start of a new week, and I have not done anything yet. But I will update you weekly on these stats because I think it's interesting. But okay, I'm drinking coffee. I need to stop. Have you guys been seeing the like loaded waters on like TikTok? I'm not even on TikTok. Why did I freaking saw that on Pinterest? It's Tuesday, and it is pitch sending day. I'm going to bring you along as I send these pitches, but also like write out what I'm doing as I'm sending the pitches, because like I said, I need to keep track of the new products pitches I'm sending, the new DMs I have to send to stays, to products. It's just a lot. As well as follow up on pitches I've sent for my own like services. So I am about to start that process. It's 9 a.m. right now. I just spent an hour setting up a Matador creator account. I met them at TravelCon, and I wanted to set up an account, and then I was learning more about it, and I did, and I applied to like 2 sort of writing gigs. So that's cool. We'll see. So I'm getting ready to hit send on 54 emails to 18 brands, which means I have pretty good number of contacts per brand. What I'm doing right now is going through the sheet and making sure that I have, like if I'm pitching Lulu in Georgia, which is like the name of the brand, that in the mail merge template it says correctly like their brand name as well as the product that I am referring to. So I'm just going through and cleaning that up, making sure that it looks good, because I have found, you gotta proofread it. You gotta proofread it. So I'm working on that, and then I'm gonna press send, and then I'm gonna follow up. But what I just did was I got to at least 50 emails sent, not 50 brands. Like I said, I have 18 brands. But at least 50 emails sent. So we'll see if I want to change that metric to at least 50 brands pitched. Probably. But for right now, I've spent like 30 minutes gathering the rest of I did like maybe like 12 more brands of gathering contacts so I could reach like 50 emails to send. So I'm gonna clean up these, press send, and then I'm going to go through my email and see like who do my follow-ups on products from last week. So that's gonna be like, I think I'm gonna start in my email and see who responded to me, who didn't respond that I need to follow up with, and I'm actually going to make a mail merge for the follow-ups because it's just going to be so much easier, I think. Maybe not, though. I don't know. This is all just a grand experiment, so hopefully by the end of this you will know how to do this successfully for yourself. Holy smokes. Okay. Alright, I'm going to finish this up. I'm listening to the audiobook of The Last Bookstore on Earth. I'm almost done with it, honestly. I'm very close. So, how many hours do I have? Oh, I have 3 hours and 20 minutes left in the book, and my VA is in there. gathering contacts for me. So we're using Apollo. Hello. You're probably here because you want a little update from Tuesday's pitching day. Great question. I would love to tell you. Okay, let me get the data. Yesterday, I don't know where I left you, unfortunately, but I sent 54 emails to 18 brands, and then I followed up with 39 brands I pitched the last week. Now, I can also tell you feedback I have received from said brands. Sometimes they like reach out right away. It's insane. Yesterday I spent a long time pitching, and I even had AI help me create a sort of like weekly pitching workflow. According to my AI personal assistant, today I have to send 25 more pitches to brands / products, 25 pitches to states / hotels, and then I need to DM 5 to 10 brands that don't have emails. Let me get you a total of how many I heard back from. Okay, I have numbers for you. So yesterday I heard back from 7 brands that I pitched. One of them is looping in her person in charge of her, what is that called? Your boss, their boss, the director of marketing. Okay. Today I have received this morning I've already gotten 2 emails from brands who are like, sorry, we're not working with creators. And honestly, that's the majority of what these other brands are saying. I need to open them and answer them properly. So that's what I'm doing. Oh my god. I even also added some more Boston hotels to a spreadsheet. It's just a little overwhelming. I'm like not quite hit the pit of despair yet, but we're close. Okay, so yesterday I was talking about like, should I do a mail merge for the follow-up emails? And I decided to not do mail merge follow-ups. I can see how they would be super useful, but I actually just made a really good follow-up template, and then it was so easy to copy and paste it and put in that person's name and just hit send right there, rather than put the body of the email into a draft in Drive and then put it in mail merge and then like put in their name in mail merge and their email. It was so much easier for me to just hit reply and then paste and make sure it was okay than to put it in mail merge. So that's what I ended up doing. Feeling a little stressed, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot to do. You know what I'm gonna do? I am going to, because there were some forms that needed to be filled out for these companies that they just like, here, go fill out our form. So I'm gonna go do that right now. That would be good to like knock those out, I think. Respond to these emails. Let me write that down too. I'm using, isn't this the most beautiful planner? Flat lays too. This is to keep track of, don't look too close, keep track of all of my personal business to-dos, and then this is my client list. Don't look too closely, okay? Where are we at here? Wednesday is already full. Look at Wednesday. Already full. I just fucking sat down. How's it full? Form, submit form. Oh my god, oh my god! I thought we had one more day of the month. Okay. Well, I can't change time, so that's that. Alright, so I did pitching power hour, which was so fun, and I pitched for an hour, you know, and I got so locked in. I also sent a couple of like one-off pitches, meaning I had DM'd the brand and asked for an email, and then they sent it to me, so I reached out via email after that. And right now I'm getting ready to film an episode of my podcast. If you don't know, I host the Travel Creator Podcast. It's the only podcast for travel creators who want to learn how to grow a business. You can find it wherever you love to listen. It's called The Travel Creator, and it's one of the most fun things I do. Of UGC, I have more pitches I need to send tonight. And also, I'm just gonna like lock in and pitch some brands for my own services, or creators and bloggers and things like that. I just need to do it. It's not hard. It needs to happen. And I'm feeling a lot more motivated after that power hour, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm getting dinner with friends later, and then we're back to work. Just signed the contract on my standing desk UGC deal. I feel like they are needing a lot, but whatever. Check out my current standing desk. Yeah, not really cutting it, so it's gonna be better. Okay, stats, let me see. So, oh, here we go. Yesterday I sent 22 new pitches, followed up with 0. So that's not great. And I filled out like 3 forms, and this morning I received 2 more responses. One person wants to move forward with a gifted collab. I'm gonna see if they're running meta ads though. But anyway, I'm going to try not worry so much about the organization of it all and just like do it and then fix the organization later. Or just see what works and what doesn't. I don't know, but I'm gonna forge ahead. So there's the tea or the coffee for you. There's the coffee for you. Let's talk about Friday. How many pitches were sent? What went down? So, and on Friday I sent 21 new tourism board pitches. On Thursday I also secured a collab with like a trail mix company. They're called Shar. No, they're called Share. They're called Share. It's just spelled differently. They're called Share. Which I'm super stoked about, and I did some more DM pitching. So let me tell you the totals for the week. In total, last week I sent 157 first pitches, and that also includes follow-ups. And overall, I booked two deals. So quantity is really a thing here. Wowzers. I feel like this is gonna be a fun experiment. I think what I'm learning is that I'm gonna have to pitch my own services way more than I think I'll have to, because one, those would just bring me more money than UGC, but we still need to get on the UGC pitching train more in terms of quantity of pitches. Is this even making sense? So it's just a numbers game, really. It's just a numbers game. We're going into our first full week of May, so holy smokies. But if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. You know all the YouTube things. I know that you do. But I also have a podcast called The Travel Creator that I would love if you listened to. And I will leave that linked down below for you as well. It is the only podcast for travel influencers. Highly recommend. Stay tuned for next week, where I think I can knock out a lot, especially because it's going to be rainy, like a lot of the time. Wish me luck, by the way.